So how effective are these unconventional marketing tactics? Let's get the take of Bruce Turkel, branding expert. Bruce, thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Bruce, KFC, as we discussed, launching a finger-licking good nail polish campaign where edible nail polish was launched using KFC's original and extra spicy flavors. That has generated a lot of buzz in media, but does that translate into increased sales of the real product?
Well, there's a couple things that are important to understand. First of all, you have to understand who the company is, in this case KFC, and what their authentic truth is. Remember, they've been saying finger-licking good for a very long time, so it's not like they simply sprung this on us. Number two, you have to know who the audience is. In the case of KFC, in the case of Burger King that you mentioned earlier, in the case of fast food restaurants, their market is young, their market is not health conscious, but their market is very concerned about getting a lot of food for a little bit of money and doing something fun with it. So because of those two things, this makes perfect sense. And if you're saying, oh my goodness, that nail polish, that just sounds horrible, think back to the last time you bought their product. You're probably not their customer, and so they don't really care what you think. The idea is to get their customers excited about who they are and what they're doing.
Well, the creative director behind the KFC nail polish idea said that he just wanted to elicit an emotional response. But does it matter if that emotional response is good or bad?
Well, that's a very smart point. In fact, in my last book, my second point was hearts then minds. You want to make an emotional connection before you make an intellectual connection. So what he said was right. He wants to get people to respond and respond emotionally, because then their filters are off and then they're open to it. But think about something else. In today's age of social media, what KFC, what the creative director, and what all of these people want is to get their customers talking about the products themselves. We as advertisers don't want to spend money on advertising. What we want is for our customers to do it. So if you get an emotional response, OMG, look at my nails, then that's going to be seen on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. People are going to promote it. Your second question,
well, Bruce, it's great to increase brand awareness, but does it actually matter if it doesn't increase sales and revenue?
Well, the whole point of doing any of this, let's face it, is to increase revenue and, more importantly, to increase shareholder value. So if you subscribe to the notion that you have to give a bottle of nail polish and sell a box of chicken, then no, there's no direct correlation between the two. But if you understand that this generates all kinds of interest, remember, they're not even giving it to customers. They're giving it to people who have social media cred, who are bloggers, who are people who are online talking about it all the time. And if you look at the value of the amount of talk that's going on, then yes, it's very, very valuable. There's no direct correlation, but there's an enormous correlation between the number of people who are talking about your product online, who are enjoying it, as you said, in an emotional sense, and who are ultimately buying your product.
All right, so there's a lot of talk, and there's a saying that there's no such thing as bad publicity, but would you necessarily agree with that?
No, that's absolutely not true. It used to be true, because it used to be when there was bad publicity, what could you do about it? Nothing. You'd see an article, you'd hear a radio pitch, you'd see something on television, and it was over. But now what happens? The minute you see something bad, you pull out your smartphone and you start telling the people you know through all your social media connections. So nowadays, bad press is bad press. It's one thing to get awareness. It's another thing to have to deal with what happens when you get bad press. But again, remember, Michelle, we're not talking about you, we're not talking about me. We're talking about the people who are heavy consumers of KFC's products, and they don't think this is bad press. They think this is wonderful.
Well, Bruce, let's expand this, and let's talk about you. You're a veteran marketing expert, very seasoned in this field. Is there a particular revolutionary campaign that comes to mind that you thought was fantastic?
Oh, of course. There are a lot of them. The ones that make you say, wow, what just happened? A great example is ALS, the Ice Bucket Challenge. They did a stunt, because that's what we're talking about, where you had to dump ice water on your head. They raised over $200 million. Why? Because everybody likes to challenge their friends to do something. There's a little bit of sadomasochism in it as well, because you had to dump ice water on your head. And then people got to show off, because of course, when they dumped the ice water, they got to show off their six-pack if they had been working out, or their beautiful pool, or they did it in front of their car. And that stunt worked incredibly well. It raised a lot of money. But the bigger picture, and I think what you would ask next, is what happened in the long term. And in the long term, nothing happened because there was no relationship between dumping cold water on your head and the authentic truth of the charity, which was raising money to cure ALS. One thing had nothing to do with the other. In the case of KFC, there's direct connection between the stunt, which is my fingers smell like fried chicken, and the product and the authentic truth, which is that KFC is finger-licking good. That authentic truth is what it's all about. It's what most marketers miss, but I think KFC hit the nail on the head with this one.
All right, so Bruce, very quickly, any forecasts for future marketing trends?
Yes, future marketing trends are going to get crazier and crazier because everybody is going to be competing for who can get people to put these things online. So look for trends that are egotistical, self-centered, meaning I get to show off and then I get to post online. Things that are going to make me want to put things on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on whatever, on WhatsApp, on whatever I'm using in order to show my friends and the people I care about what I'm doing. Stunts are going to get crazier and crazier, wackier and wackier. I think they're going to get more risque. They're going to keep pushing the envelope because what we know is what works on social media is things that get attention and relate directly to the client's authentic truth.
Bruce, I'm going to have to agree with you. It does seem that shameless self-promotion and social media go hand in hand. Thank you so much,
word.
branding expert.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
If you like what you just saw, follow us on social media and visit our website, cctv-america.com.